Every other people. Good morning and welcome to the first class of case study, May 2022 diet. Today, we shall be discussing the rudiments of case study. What are expected from you in succeeding in case study? I would like to start with case study is one of the most interesting topics ever to pass and the most simplest one. In case study, there's no right or wrong answer though, but you have to write according to requirements. Let's get started. The class has been scheduled in terms of lessons, and we shall be looking at the first lesson, which is Introduction to Case Study, CBA, Competency-Based Assessment, and SAB, Skill-Based Skill Assessment boxes. What is case study itself? And why are we writing case study? I will tell us that before November 2014, or the last for diet, as at November 2014, ICAN case study paper has usually been 12 pages, has usually been 15 pages rather. But for the last 4 diets that ICAN amalgamated, signed MOU partner with IQ, Institute of Chartered Accountants, England and Wales. Then they now added another 12 pages to make the total page of ICAN case study 27 pages. Before then, ICAN don't usually have pre-sim. You just go to the examination and face your challenges. But now, pre-sim is being released for us to familiarize ourselves to the cases and also be able to do some research and have some ideas of what we want to do. But mind you, during the pre-sim, a lot of solutions will be flying. That's the requirement, which will mean what you are expected to do will not be given. It is only when you get to the examination or that you are going to find the requirement from the first sheet that you are given in the examination, which we call the unseen part. Welcome to our ICAN case study. Case study has taken a new global dimension, and its approach is because of the MOU that is being signed. However, you don't have to be afraid seeing 27 pages. No, you don't have to be afraid because you would have already had everything at your disposal. And your knowledge and ability will also give a great insight to what you want to do. But as a chartered accountant, it is important for you to know that your unique selling point when compared with other business advisors or every other businesses like lawyers, marketing, human resources, is that you are expected to have the knowledge and competence skills to understand and interpret financial and business data. Likewise, communicating them to communicating the underlying issues to your client or employer, which are usually called the users of the financial information. What do I mean? Unlike every other professions, more are expected from you as an accountant. You are expected to really prepare the financial data, analyze them, and communicate them to the users of financial information. When you are analyzing businesses, you are not expected to be writing the differences that occur between last year and this year is 2 naira. Everybody can see it. You should be able to tell us more. Why the 2 naira? Can't we edge out that 2 naira? And what challenges will that 2 naira give to us in the near future? Or what benefits is it attached to the 2 naira changes that occur? That is why you are a chartered accountant. Unlike before, I can like to produce a quack accountant. Now, they want a more reportable accountant that can look at the challenges of organization, analyze the performance, and then advise them on the current challenges, threats, opportunity that the business or the company or the employer are confronted. That is what actually leads to what case study. Like I said, the objective of case study is just for candidates to produce what we call a report. What you are doing is just to produce what? A report. And this report that you are producing is in form of a single report, which would have already analyzed the company problem, both financial and non-financial, while you are giving your judgment, conclusion, and recommendation to the management of the company. Everything you are doing, you have to give your judgment, mark that. You give your conclusion, mark that. You will give a recommendation. Because most of the investors, most of the business owners, most of those that owns the company, they are those that do not even pass their primary six. Some of them did not even go to school. Some are school leavers. Only a few are graduates among them. But they have the resources to control the world, which is money. And that money that they have, you just have to come down to their level, to their lowest level, to ensure that they understand the financial statement, they understand the businesses, they understand what you are presenting before them. And then that your presentation must be in form of a report. When I say a report, let me give you a sample. If you are married already, you sent your child or your children to school, you'll be expecting feedback from them. Is that not? Yes, I can hear yes. What you are expecting from them is called reports. Oh, hello, senior. What happened in your school today? Daddy, you can't believe that the mathematics teacher is too stubborn. It was just giving us assignments we don't understand. And I don't even like that teacher. Why? The teacher always give us skill. What is that child giving? Is giving you report of the school activity. The same way, you are expected to give reports to the business owners. You're expected to give reports to the company. You're expected to give reports to your employer. And you're expected to give reports to the users of financial information. Your report will now include recommendation, conclusion. Are we together? So case studies requires you to demonstrate your professional ability and skills to respond to the business scenarios. In case study, most of what you'll be given will be in life scenarios. When I say life scenarios, they will look at the current challenges that is facing the economy. Then they will now write a report. They will now give you the cases. In fact, they will furnish you a financial information. That financial statement that you are seeing that is being provided in ICAN case study are real. They have extracted. They have looked at a company that is facing challenges locally or international. They've extracted the financial statement. That financial statement that they've extracted, mind you, they've only extracted the management account. As those people are furnishing it to their auditors, to their advisors, so ICAN is giving them to you. Now, use your professional skills and competency. Come the release of results in May 2022, you will all be celebrated and become a chartered accountant. Amen to the prayer. Because you will be celebrated and become a chartered accountant, we want you to be able to give a solution to a problem. As a matter of fact, that is why they will give you what we call a life scenario financial information. When it is given to you, you are expected to use your skills, to use your experience, to use your competency, to analyze, give reports, and also offer solutions in terms of conclusion and recommendation on the given information. That information that I mean is the case. I hope we are together. All right. That will be that is normally required you to draft a report that is dealing with the issue that is being presented in the business scenario to a client or its equivalent recipient. Let me tell us that you are preparing to write case study, there are a lot of things that you need to familiarize yourself with. Okay, before I go further, it will be important for me to tell you at this point that for you to succeed in case study examination, you need to bear in mind that you will need to identify a business, identify its technicality, and also the ethical issues. In firm, we have a general language. When you are collecting a contract, or when you have a contract with any of your counterparts, one thing is what's expected from you. Can somebody ask me what? You are expected to understand the business. If you did not understand the business, how will you be able to understand the contract of engagement that is being given to you? The first prerequisite is understand the nature of the business. Then look at the challenges, the opportunities that is surrounding that business nature. In one of the diets, I can look at the hospitality businesses. Last diet, what did they even look at? So, forgotten already. A diet before, they examined a non-profit organization. Okay, what do we mean? When you, first of all, when you read the case, you will ask yourself, from which business nature is this case coming from? Have you gotten it? I didn't ask you to research. Don't research. That is why we are there for you. First, read the case to the fullest, the present that you're given. Read it to the fullest. Understand what they are talking. Understand the information that is given. That is what I mean by identification of the business and its ethical issues. For instance, if I ask you in health sector, what is the ethical issues that is there? You can really talk about that. In this sector, what ethical issues that is expected? You should be able to have at least information. Having known that, application of your technical knowledge in identifying the issues in the case scenario cannot be overemphasized. You actually need it. You have to apply your technical knowledge. Likewise, understand the business situation, as in, where is the business located in its life cycle? Is it at its startup stage? Is it at its growth stage? Is it, first, before startup, is it at its introduction stage? Is it at its startup stage? Is it at its growth stage? Is it at its maturity date, or is it already at its declining stage? All this you need to understand. When you understand the business situation, it makes the job easier for you. Okay? And in any case that you are being given, learn to identify the business situation, that is the life cycle of that business. That is why I said, let our first class be introductory so that you will have an eye opener to what you needed. So that by the time we are going through cases, by the time we start our practical, it's not be as if, where did I see this, where did I see that? I want you to be thinking the way I will be thinking. I want you to be seeing what I will be seeing. Because though you are the one going into the examination, but guess what? I'm only going with you with spirit. You are the one that will be there to write and face the old challenges. But the old challenges would have been lesson for you. Don't be scared. We are together. But I want you to understand what you needed. and the tools that you need to take to that your examination. I hope you are together. So understanding the business situation is an important part that you should always remember. Likewise, understand the business wider issues and the business scenarios. I think I have talked about that. Then you must also be able to select the appropriate tools for your analysis. Don't be finding, okay, we are going to discuss that. All right? Important. You are expected to note that you need the knowledge of your CSME, corporate strategy, management, and ethics when you are working with case study. You need your knowledge of financial reporting. You need your knowledge of performance management, and you also need your knowledge of SFL. I can hear somebody ask me, would they need to go and subscribe for CSME, FR, PM, and SFM before they could write case study? And I'm ready to answer you, no. No, in the sense that you don't need an in-depth knowledge. You only need what we call integral knowledge. What did I call it? You need an integral knowledge. And that is why I'm here for you. You need what? An integral knowledge. Because everything we are doing in case study, it's cut across your CSME, your FR, your PM, and SFM. Majorly, that's 4 courses. If you are not doing FR, you'll be doing CR. If you have passed all those courses and you have case study alone to write, you are welcome. I got you covered. Okay, so I hope I've answered one of your questions you are just about to ask me. More so, ability of you to determine if the report should be internal or external is highly expected. It's highly crucial. You need it. First thing, you should be able to understand the types of report you are summoned to write. Is it internal report or external report? Ideally, the difference between the two is just the cover page. But if you didn't get it right from the first instance, you might really not be getting it adequately. And the difference between success and failure, majorly to me, is one. The difference between success and failure is one. That is why the probability between success and failure is one. You see that probability of something occurring and not occurring is one. It is when the probability is certain that it is one. If it is not certain, it's less than one. Why did I say that? If you have written your cover page effectively, you would have scored a mark that will shoot you up to the glory. That is why everything will be taught and it will be done. And mind you, whatever we are doing is practical. I repeat, you must have your calculator and higher education. Ability to follow the instruction as given is one of the key success factors that you can actually take from us. Please. How do we recognize if it is internal or external? We are still coming there. But I remember something that I quickly want to chip in here. Most of the mistakes that the majority does when it comes to the case study is because they've seen that the case is you are John Obu working with ABC company. You have to report to your boss. But because your boss now said, drafts for my review, they thought because drafts for my review has turned the report to internal. My dear professional, no, it is not, and it does not. We shall be examining that. So take note of that. Let us quickly go to CBA and SAB. What do we call CBA? CBA is what I call competency-based assessment. And I'll be using what we call competence-based assessment key. And I say competence-based assessment key, it means, although ICAN do not have right and right answer to case study, but they mark with guidelines. And the guidelines that they mark with is what we call competency assessment based on SAB, skill-based assessments. All right. This case study is marked by reference to a competency-based assessment key. All marks are awarded for the demonstration of professional skills, where students are required to demonstrate technical knowledge. Marks will be awarded in the context of how they analyze the problem and develop and present their solution. That is it. I want you to know that marks are not awarded for just restating the fact the way you are given in the case, but ability for you to demonstrate your professional skills is where mark is being awarded. You are not expected to go outside the box of case when you are reporting or when you are writing your report for case study. You are expected to write within the context of case study. But am I writing west to west? The answer is no now. But you said I should not write outside the box. So if I should put my own, it means I've written outside the box. No. You are not putting your own. You are not inviting what is not in the case. You are doing what is the case, but you are doing it professionally. All this, it shall be examined. So to succeed in every case study, you need to show your sufficient evidence. In writing case study reports, you should be able to be doing what we call referencing. You put up a reference. See appendix, see notes, see appendix 5, page 2. That is what we call evidence. It's like you are given a report to your companies. When you are given a report to your company, you must be able to give a reference. Let's assume that you are doing a quarterly report on the performance of the company. You should be able to give a kind of a reference. And the reference will be see the financial report of our May 2021, where we are having the highest revenue being contributed from the product of XYZ. The same thing in case study. That's why I said case study is more or less like a life scenario. What we want you to be doing with your organization. Because as you are more valued, you are more important, you are extremely crucial to the success of a mission. That is why we have to give you, we have to train you, we have to equip you with what you needed. And it starts now before you eventually lift that ICAN certificate. You should also be able to carry out an appropriate analysis. Carrying out an analysis involves both financial and non-financial. I could remember telling you that. You should make informed judgment. Your judgment should be looking at that financial statement. You should be able to tell us if the company will, what do we call it? If the company will be a going concern company, or the company is going to be a cessation company. And she also be able to give a judgment based on the revenue and other revenue streams of the company, as well as how the company are managing their overheads, otherwise called expenses. Likewise, you should also be able to make adequate conclusion and recommendation. No matter the judgment you are making, judgment is quite different from your conclusion. Your conclusion is, it can be seen that revenue is declining, and if the revenue is growing, you will tell them. That is your making conclusion. Recommendation should be in the form of, it is recommended that XYZ products should be produced more. in order for the company to hit its profitability as such, and such. Likewise, I haven't talked about CBA, competent-based assessment. Let me quickly talk on the skill assessment boxes. Remember that I have told us earlier that there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to case study. But it is important for you to note that case study is marked based on guidelines. The use of guidelines is what they use to mark cases. It is not just writing reports. That is why if you look at our testimony over the period, we always have the highest testimony. We are proud of that because we don't just write reports, we write in accordance. And like what I usually tell my students in class is, please, your MIT manual is available for you. We have it for you. We send it across to the platform. If you've not requested, just ask the admin, we send it to you. I understand that you have bought textbook on case study. For majority that are not just writing the case, they think it's because I don't have this textbook. If you still tell some other people I fake case study, they will tell you, my dear, go and buy this textbook. I have the pleasure to tell you that the challenges is not the textbook. Sincerely, it's because you do not have the right person to tutor you on the case. And now you are here. Congratulate yourself, I promise. For you to know, you have to congratulate yourself. Just request for your MIT case study manual. You will see some cases that we even write there. Then I always tell you that textbook you have bought, drop them. You don't need it. After your exam, go and pick them and examine them. But for the purpose of this exam, please don't pick any textbook. If there's any study material you are going to add to your MIT case study manual, please let it be ICAN study pack. What did I call it? If there's any case study you want to add to your MIT case study manual, let it be ICAN case study pack. Aside from ICAN case study, you don't need any other one again. You don't need any other one again. This, my presentation note, is what I call your MIT case study manual, and it is enough for you to succeed. Do we get that? So let's proceed. Note the following, as they are very important to pass your ICAN case study. One, there are only 2 requirements for every case study. All case studies have just 2 requirements. If you want to confirm, go to your page 162 of your ICAN study pack. That's why I said, don't join any material with mine. If there's any material you will join, please use ICAN case study manual. There you will see what I have just said. Okay, it is only 2 requirements. Now on page 163, it is now on page 163, not 162. Okay. Likewise, there will be 8 skill boxes. In fact, all our solutions are based on the 8 skill boxes. And during the course of our lecture, we shall be revolving around these 8 skill boxes. That is, everything we'll be doing will be based on the use of the 8 skill boxes. Having said that, there will be 4 additional skills for multidisciplinary skills. There's always added 4 skills for being a word, for having a multidisciplinary skill. What they call multidisciplinary skills is you writing in accordance to the requirement and in accordance to the skill boxes. That is why we always have, okay, you see it here. Don't let me, because of the time. Likewise, there'll be 5 skill boxes for executive summary. In your executive summary, you will have another 5 skill boxes for executive summary. That is why I said, if your executive summary is fine, good, and okay, my dear professional, your exam is also okay. Your mark starts from your executive summary. When your executive summary is fine, every other thing, you're already scoring yourself the mark required. Having said that, in all, we have 25 skill boxes, and each have a mark of 4 marks. If you multiply 25 by 4, you will have the 100 marks. Mind you, out of these 100 marks that are expected, what do you need? You only need 50 marks to succeed. Now tell me why you need to fail case study. You can't fail if you follow the rule. You cannot fail if you follow the rule. That's why I said, follow the rule, then you pass the exam. And if you want to confirm, ask our past examiners, ask our past students, sincerely speaking. Just follow the rules. Anything that you're given, follow it. I give you assignment, solve it, submit on time. Please. This is how the marks are being awarded. We call it SAB. The first one is for superior achievement. Superior achievement means you have written according to requirements and you follow the rule of the 8 skill boxes and you do it one after the other. Skill box 1, you write what is there. Skill box 2, you put what is there. Skill box 3, for each of the analysis, you put what is there. Skill box 4, you do what you are expected to do. You will get your 4 marks. Competent achievement, though you are writing it according to the skill boxes, but it is not accurate as expected, you will get 3 marks. Below competent achievement, you are trying to follow the skill boxes, but you are not writing according to requirement. Non-competent, you don't even follow skill boxes. You are just writing cases like Oshodi, just writing broom. That is one. Void is the person that does not even understand what they ask them to do. Yeah, everybody and most people always believe that in every case is where you will find the business analysis, which I call SWOT, Pestemester, and the rest. Then I say, don't you see that they ask us for the strength of the company because they mentioned the strength and the weakness of the company? Does that mean there's business analysis there? That's the question I always ask when I'm doing my evaluation. See, if there's a class you are going to miss, please do not miss your case study. And if you are missing any case study class, I beg your pardon, endeavor to watch your video before the next class. And if you have any uncleared thing, ask. In case study, you don't pretend as if you know. It is easy to pass, yes. But it is very much easy to fail. Oh, you think because you are given financial statement, they will now be marking you one by one. Because you said in calculation, they mark one by one. Or you. Sorry, is that name? They don't mark like that. Do you even know the mark that is being awarded for writing, for all those of calculation you are doing, all your appendixes? If you hear the mark, in fact, most of you will not even want to be doing that appendix again. This thing will tell you that, oh, when you have your this thing, leave your executive summary. Go and start from the main report first, my dear, or they don't know what they are doing. Tell them your might said so. Sincerely. Let's open our eye to everything. The reason I'm very much surprised. Apology to tell you this. You need to hear it. You need to. In one of the physical classes, and I wanted to start my first class, I started with, welcome everybody. Before we continue, I want you to share your experience with me. Oh, let me even make this class interactive. We are in skill boxes, right? Before I go there, let's make the class interactive. You can unmute yourself to talk. Hello, you can unmute yourself to talk. Let me ask you, as I usually do. Sorry that I didn't start with that. The work is in me. Can I know the score that you are expecting in this May 2022 diet? If you cannot talk, you can just type it. Can you tell me the score you are expecting in this May diet exam? Mr. Abiodun Ogunsheye, what is your expected score? Hello? Am I the only one in class? Mr. Latunji, oh, brilliant. Mr. Abiodun, you have chosen 75. You will have it by His grace. Oh yeah, next person, what is your expected score? Mr. Latunji, what score are you expecting? Mr. Manuel, what score are you expecting? Mr. Yinka, oh, brilliant. Mr. Emmanuel, you are expecting 80. Wow, very good. I can see competition already, even before we start. Okay, Mr. Latunji, what are you expecting? Okay, be sending me chat. Don't talk again. Be sending me chat. Wow, Mr. Folonsho 76. I like that. Nobody is even aiming low. Oh yeah, others, what are you expecting? You are claiming your glory. If you don't talk now, you might not be working towards it. That's why I'm asking you. And that is why I usually ask in my class. Brilliant. I can see most of you as choosing a brilliant mark, and you shall all have it by His grace. Let me now tell you. What I wanted to say was, it's because the recording is in progress. I asked in my class, what was your last diet score? And somebody told me that he scored 1. I said, wow. Did we just go into the examination and you submit your paper? He said, no, I write a subject summary, I wrote everything. I was surprised to have scored 1. And I laughed. I said, thank God, you are welcome. That's your 1. What do you want to change it to? He said, sir, I want to score 65. I can show you the person's score. He scored 68 in the last release exam. And I'm like, wow, that is it. Most of the math is void. When one is writing in jargons, they will void it. And when someone is writing non-competent, you are not displaying professional skills, you are not displaying something related to the case, they will give 1. You might have gotten the 1 from being non-competent of what he's doing. It was when, as I'm doing for you, the same way I did, I showed them how marks is being allocated. When you know what is ahead of you, you will know what to focus on. Majority tends to think that that management account, which I call appendixes, your financial ratio, your data ratio, your SWOT, is what gives you mark. No, ability for you to write more ratios, ability for you to write more this will be giving you mark. My dear professional, the answer is no. It is no. That's not it. Are we together? So this is how the mark are being given. Executive summary have 5 skill boxes. You are expected to mention 4 points in each of the boxes. So you will have 4 marks. The 4 marks will give you 20. Now tell me, why will somebody now tell me to first of all leave my executive summary of 20 marks and go and be writing my appendixes of 8 marks? Is that not weird? Is that not clear advice? You will be doing your executive summary while you are writing your report. Because executive summary itself carry weight. And after that, you will now be talking of your what? Requirement 1 and requirement 2. These 3 are what carry marks. If you can do it effectively, my dear, you are scoring yourself 84. But this requirement 2, because of time, you will only tap glory there. Tell me why you will not be focusing and be chasing these 3. Why you will try to be chasing these 2. You are chasing 16 marks, leaving out 84. I don't understand. Please, you have to open your mind and be ready to work. You must be ready to work. Commitment is what wins the game of case study. And you will not be having it. It's not just coming to the class or watching the distance. You'll be committed to always wanting to do more. Having said that, let us move to what will serve as our guidelines. I call it structure of case study reports. If there's something you are going to do for me, it is redrafting this case study structure report. And how are you going to do it? It's left for you. You must master this. This you must master. Putting this together hasn't been easy, my dear. This is what we are following throughout the course of our discussion. My case study report is there for you. This is a guideline. You have to master it. From now to our next meeting, you are mastering this. Let me explain it. Overall, you have 6 headings. How many headings did I call it? Overall, you have 6 headings to your case study. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Overall, you have 6 headings. The first one is your cover page. Under your cover page, you will present your cover page in forms of a word first letter head. If it is an external report. If it is internal, you will prepare it as a memo. What do I call it? You present it in the memo. But if it is external report, it will be in form of letter head. Memo or letter head will have 2 title, prepared by, date, and your disclaimer. It will have what? It will have your 2 title, prepared by, date, and disclaimer in accordance. In accordance means according to how I'm giving them to you. Want to be interested to see how a cover page looks like? Are you interested in that? If the answer is yes, let me show you. I asked you to buy a big note, otherwise known as higher education, right? In your higher education, you will flip like this. This is one of the case that is written. Permit me to flip my screen. It's for you to get it. This is a cover page. Can you see it? This is a sample of a what cover page. This one is an external report. Because it is external report, I have the firm's letter head. Under it is a chartered accountant. You leave a 2-line space, you write report. Leave a 2-line space, you write to. Leave 2-line space, you write title. You leave a line space, you write by. You leave a line space, you write date. You leave 2-line space and write a disclaimer. And the disclaimer words must be in the same line. Notice, after writing report, you leave 1-line space and you write your to here, not report to. No, your to is here. Report, leave a line space, go to the second line, you write to. Then why are you writing it to? The board of directors. Then you will leave 2-line space, title, you put the title here. The title are usually synonymous, but it is part of the key aspect. This is where they will start assessing your what? Competency base. Is that picking? That is just to show you an example of cover page. Let us go back to what we are doing. You've seen how a cover page looks like. Tomorrow, if I ask you, how does the cover page look like? I believe you should be able to tell me. And if you have your higher education, you should know, your higher education looks like slant like this. It looks like this. If you can see my screen, your higher education is like this. Is that not? You will have to turn it vertically like this. Which one is vertical, horizontal? This is vertical. This is horizontal. This is vertical. And that is horizontal. Is that taken? Horizontal is when you add it like this. Okay. Now, we've talked on cover page. Let us go to executive summary. For the executive summary, should comprises of the aims of the report. Aims of the report. It should also comprise of the method of analysis. You state the assumption. Like I said earlier, every cases have 2 requirements. Requirement 1, requirement 2. You have your requirement 1. Findings, 2 points. Conclusion, 4 points. Recommendation, 4 points. Findings, 2 points. Conclusion, 4 points. Recommendation, 4 points. Go to requirement 2. Findings, 2 points. Conclusion, 4 points. Recommendation, 4 points. The same thing with requirement 1. Then your limitation. Limitation under executive summary are defaults. Default that I mean is they are always the same, does not change. And it is based on the case study we are given, but you don't have to stress yourself, it is default. Okay. It is only 4 points that you are mentioning under your limitation. And the 4 points are the same. Unaudited financial statement. And you start giving your other opinion. I will say that. We go to your introduction. Under your introduction, you should be able to state your reference. You will see it from the case that you're given. You talk on the aims and objectives of the report, just as you might have done here. You talk on your method of analysis, everything in a single paragraph, which should not be more than 3 lines. You will do your report outlines, then you will do your background and do your scope and limitation. Let me show us. Don't rush you. Everything you will get. I prepare myself in such a way that you will understand and get everything which is. This is a sample of executive summary. You can see aims and objective. The report aims at analyzing the financial performance, the method of analysis. The method of analysis include your assumption. The report assumes that the third farms is in growing stage of its what? Life cycle. Do you remember me telling you about understanding the situation of the business, which I call the life cycle stage? Is it at the introductory stage? Is it at the growing stage? Is it at the maturity stage or declining stage or development stage? You remember me telling you that, right? This is why you need them. Then every other one are what I ask you to do. Your financial analysis, the conclusion. Let us go to the one I want to show you, which is the introduction. This is the reference that I talked to you. With reference to your email received on the date you received it. The report analysis, aims of the report, then the method. This is a report outline. Your report outline will be in terms of doing an outline for a book. You will have your cover page, your executive summary, your introduction. You have your financial analysis, which is section 1, or you call it requirement 1. You have your findings and conclusion. Then you have your conclusion and recommendation after findings and discussion. Then you go to your requirement 2. You also have your findings and discussion, conclusion, recommendation, and you have your appendices. Likewise, you go to the background. This is the background that I'm telling you. Your background, you would have already been given from the statement. I will tell you how to recognize the background of information when we are picking a report. Don't worry. This is your scope and limitation. Like I said, it is a default. It is this for unaudited financial statement. Industry average will not be given, so it's not given. Financial statement will not be complete, it's not complete. Forecast figure will not be given. That is the 4 aspects that will be given. Okay? Having said that, that is all about your introduction. You will now go to your requirements 1 and 2. Ultimately, requirement 1 is usually financial analysis. Your requirement 2 can be either business analysis or data analysis. So this is your requirement 1, this is your requirement 2, and this can be your requirement 2. That is, your requirement 1 can be financial analysis. And requirement 1, financial analysis. And requirement 2 will be business analysis or data analysis. Unlike May 2021 diet, they showed them in requirement 1 by combining both financial analysis and data analysis. We now go to requirement 2, they still texted data analysis. Don't worry. All this financial analysis, data analysis, business analysis, we shall examine them all. And you understand what we call the analysis and how we perform the analysis practically. Okay? Nothing is theoretical here. So for requirement 1 and requirement 2 also, you go and learn something from me, which I call DPAISECR. DPAISECR, or DPACE credit. DPACE credit is an acronym that has been designed to guide you towards the preparation of your what? Requirements 1 and 2. The PACE credit has been designed in such a way that it will guide your preparation of requirement 1 and requirement 2. Take note. Okay. So you need to master the PACE credit. D is standing for data and information. D is standing for data and information. When we say data and information, we mean how you are going to use your data and information that you are given from a case. Data and information means how you are going to use your data and the information that you are given in a case scenario. Are we together? Professional tools. Professional tools has to do with the appendices that you do. Reporting those appendices is what we call the professional tools. And everything here has to do with you showing off your skills. Having said that, the third one is what is called analytical tools. Okay, the third one is what we call the analytical skills. Analytical skills involves you giving the analysis of your appendices. That is to tell you, irrespective of the mark that has been allocated for the appendices, it is still an independent variable. It's depending on your report, or your report is depending on them. It is a report that we use to analyze the issues and options. They are the ethical issues that are given in the case. They are the ethical issues that are given in the case. Why your skepticism and ethics? Skepticism is what I called expression of doubt. No matter what is given to you, you should be able to express your doubt. Let me tell us, even in your organization, if they brought a case for you, and they brought the case for you, your boss will be expecting you to first of all express doubt on that item. For instance, they tell you that, I think for when a company, for intercompany transaction, there should not be a charges now. That is, there should not be a WHT or a tax charges, right? You don't just say yes. So hold on, sir. When a company transacts, do they charge us? Yes. But sir, was it carried out in an arm's length transaction? Yes, that, sir, I'm not sure that it is carried out in an arm's length transaction, because if it is, they wouldn't charge us. Can I have some data to confirm? That means what your boss is presenting before you, you are expressing a doubt on it. That expression of doubt is what we call professional skepticism. Your boss knows and is unsure. That is why he's asking you. But because you think it's just your boss, you are saying yes to what he's saying. If your boss is like my own boss, he will tell you that you are completely out of your mind and you don't think you even qualify before they give you the certificate. Sincerely. Because as a professional, you are expected to, first of all, have your own doubt on everything they are giving to you. It is when your doubt is proved wrong that they are right. Do you get that? The same thing in case. We expected that you should be able to express your doubt on them. Evaluative skill. You will also need to evaluate. You will also need to evaluate the judgment that is being given. They will give you the other items that we evaluate on. So you need to also evaluate. An evaluative skill involves the ethical issues and conduct involved in a given case. Conclusion is just the summary of all what you have done from data analysis up to the box 6. You see that I listed them. 1, 2, 3. This is box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4, box 5, box 6, box 7, box 8. It is the 8 skill boxes. If you look at our outlines, you will see the use of 8 skill boxes. Can you see the use of what? 8 skill boxes. That is a box. How to use all those things. That's why I said throughout our report, we shall be discussing on what? DPA, ISECR, and you are expected to master it. You can't cram this one, you master. It is this structure that we need to master most. When you master this case study report structure, definitely you are already on the brink of success. Requirement 1 and requirement 2 is the same. So conclusion is just the summary of what you've done from chapter 1 from box 1 to box 6. And your recommendation will be what you are going to recommend at the end of the period. Is that taken? That is all about our case study report. Now, let us move to our appendices. Appendix are not part of the report writing. They are calculation or workings that will aid our report. What I mean is, what will assist our report is these appendixes. I have told us earlier that financial analysis involves the use, that our financial analysis might be our requirement 1, while our requirement 2 can be either business analysis or data analysis. Financial analysis is the use of financial analysis includes what we call our trend analysis, common size analysis, then our ratio analysis, particularly these three. Particularly these three is what is meant by our financial analysis. So if I ask you, what is our financial analysis? I want you to be telling me that we will perform our trend analysis, we are going to perform our common size analysis, and we are going to perform our ratio analysis. Is that taken? Yes. I hope I'm speaking your mind. Is that not? And it is important for us to note when we get there that we also have internal analysis and external analysis of financial analysis. Likewise, when we say trend analysis includes all this we shall be discussing. That trend analysis includes the analysis of our previous performance with the current performance. If the performance is more than 2, any percentage changes will be identified. Any value changes will also be what? Identified. Do we get that? Gone are the time that we'll be trying to do what we call base year. You don't do base year. If you're given more than a year, let's say you are given 2000, stop now. Let's say you are given 2011 figure, you are given 2012 figure, you are given 2013 figure. Let us assume you are given like this. Let's say this is 5, this is 4, this is 7. if you are doing your trend analysis for 2012, you first have 2011, you have your 2012. You now have value change, then you have your what? Percentage change. This is 5, this is 4. Value change will be new minus old. 4 minus 5 minus 1. Percentage change will now be, let me rewrite. You are still coming there. This is just introduction. You need to know what you need to know. New minus old. This is for value change. Percentage change will be new minus old divided by what? Old. Take note of that. So here we now have minus 1 divided by 5. What will it give us? We all know that what it will be minus 1 point something something. That is 1 divided by 5. That is minus 0.2. Okay, that is minus 0.2. Minus 0.2. That's what it will give us. This is for 2012. And if you want to do 2013, you will have 2012, 2013. You still do the same thing. Value change, percentage change. Please take note of that. When we get to our ratio analysis, we shall actually be looking at in details. What have I done? We shall actually be looking at that in details. Okay. Having said that, after financial analysis, we have what you call data analysis. And our data analysis includes the use. Sorry, permit me to erase this, because this is what I'm using for my board today. My data analysis includes the use of SFM tools or PM tools. SFM tools or PM tools. What do we mean? Remember, I told us that you don't need a sound knowledge of SFM and PM. You only need an integral knowledge. What are the tools that you mostly needed when it comes to SFM? They are the tools of MPV. They are the tools of your project appraiser. For PM, it can be to calculate the cost of an item. And for your business analysis, it's usually the use of PESPER, MESPER, Boston Group, life cycle, or as the case may be, depending on the types of case that we are being given. I hope that is clear. My dear professionals, that is all what we are doing in the course of our case study lecture. At this moment, permit me to allow you to ask questions. You can ask questions now. That is all we need to know. I hope you can see the page now. Okay. Those ones that I showed us is just explanation to let us know what we need to do and why we are doing it. So overall, it is in conclusion, the overall aim of the case study is to ensure that candidates, or let me call it professionals, provide advice in respect of the complex business issues in the form of a written report. And the objective of the case study is to assess the understanding of the complex business issue and the ability to analyze the financial and non-financial data. Likewise, ability to exercise your professional and ethical judgment and develop a conclusion and what recommendation. Like I said, The only time available for your case study is 4 hours. But that 4 hours looks like 40 minutes. You will enjoy writing the case, but most people have been constrained by time. Mind you, we are going to learn how to manage our time effectively and efficiently. If you are the types that is as slow as I am, you are going to learn how to manage your time. And if you are the speedometer as I am, you are going to learn how to still manage your time during the course of our lecture. By the time we start writing reports, I will teach you, show us how to manage our time. Okay. So, like I said, that the success in the case study exam requires an integral knowledge of SFM and PM tools. Likewise, it is the integration of the technical knowledge and skills that is being acquired from the previous exams or from the other papers that is actually required to pass your case study, especially SFM, PM, CSM, FR, and CR. I won't fail to tell us that the core technical knowledge and skills and application and practical application is highly required in the case. That is, we have to do everything practical. And the technicality and your own analytical skills is highly demanded. When I write A to Z for you, does not mean you should not change it to your own word. You have to change it to your word in accordance to mine. And by doing so, because me, I can write. If you leave me, I like writing. What I need to summarize at times in 2 lines, I might write it in 4 lines. Try as much as possible to shrink all those words, put it in one, and write it out. Do you get that? And in our class, be asking me questions, develop an inquisitive mindset that your mind, can't you do it this way? Can't you do it like this? Can't you do it like this? I will tell you if we can, and I will tell us if we cannot. Remember, I am the one telling you that we should be skeptical about the issues. So that habit of skepticism, use it for me too. Do we get that? Please. And if there's something you are going to take home today, let it be this case study structure as you are seeing it on your screen. You can screenshot it, you can munch it, you can do whatsoever. Endeavor that you are taking this home. And I want you to write or draw out or sketch out the same for me, so that I will know that you are actually following up with the class. All my assignments should be submitted in higher education. If you use 2A, I will reject it and you have to rewrite. Likewise, note that you'll be writing more in case study. You need to be disciplined, and I'm going to enforce that in you. Irrespective of whom am I to you. I might be your grandchild, I might be your child, I might be your younger brother. In fact, I am your younger brother if I'm not your son. So please, just take me as a driver. For now, I am your driver, and I'll be driving you to the success. When you are with your driver, you have no choice. You can only be telling him to slow down. You can decide to drive you by jumping to fence, and you can decide to be driving slowly. You have no choice when you are sitting back and your driver is in front. The only choice you have is just to be telling him, "Oga, small now." Okay, so for now, take me as a driver. Having said that, I expect us to carry out some work beforehand, and that will be download all your past questions from November 2014 till November 2021. Let me remind us that I said in case study, you need to identify the business, its technical and ethical issues. Likewise, you need to select the appropriate tools that are going to use to analyze the report. My dear professionals, conclusion and recommendation must be based on evidence. Implication assumption must also be generated from the report. This and more we are going to deploy and examine during the course of our class. Thank you. Let me start with a question. Excuse me. Excuse me. Any question, please? So in case study, like I said earlier, it is important for you to plan yourself. Planning is the essential tools when you are working with case study. How do you plan? Is the use of the case study report, like I said. So planning is essential, and it's one of the prerequisites to passing the examination. Let me tell us that by planning, you would have initially the hours that is allocated for each of the case has already been given. But because you now have pre-seen, and you would have already seen the proposed unseen being predicted by us to you, that will actually aid your effective planning. Planning starts from, if I collect my paper, I'm doing my cover page first. After my cover page, I'm writing my executive summary up to what? The requirement 1. And after that, I leave some space and go to the summary. Let me tell us that for cover page, in your book, cover page should be your what? Your page 1. And you are using the 1 page. Like I said, let me give us a sample of the cover page. You all see the samples of the cover page are shown earlier, right? Let me still show those. So that I want to, all these things you are having, you will get everything now. Let me rotate my screen. Can you see it? This is your page 1, and this is how she looks like. Then, in case study, you have to number your pages. We are still going to tell you that when we start writing cases. Okay, this is your page 1. Let me write it. Sorry for turning my screen. It's for you to get it. Page 1. And if you are using higher education, you'll be wondering, higher education is too wide and higher education is too long. How am I going to write like this? Higher education is synonymous to that of the answer sheet to be given in your examination. That's why I asked you to get me the answer, the FUSCA sheet. The differences between it is that this, our FUSCA sheet, is longer than that of the examination, but that of the examination is wider than it. So if you use the FUSCA sheet to practice, ultimately you are near, so close to what you are using in the examination. That would have afforded you the planning you are going to make when you receive that examination booklet. I do tell people, you don't have to wait until start before you start. So maybe they give you the answer booklet, they give you the question. My dear, your planning has started. First of all, open the back of the answer booklet. Do your plan as you want to write your report. That is what I call the planning. How I want to write the report is what I call what? Is what I call the planning. The first thing is I'm going to write my cover page, page 1. After page 1, followed by a what? Executive summary. Your executive summary should cover 2 pages. And it should be page 1 and page 2. Sorry, we already have page 1. It should be your page 2 and page 3. Okay, your executive summary should be your page 2 and page 3. This is page 2 and 3. Please, because I call it page 2 and page 3 does not mean you have to exhaust it. All what you are going to write should not be more than 1 full page and maximum 5-line page in the 3rd pages. I can understand what I mean. Your page 2, it should cover everything. If your handwriting is as tiny as my own, you must write complete 2nd page and at least 1, 2, 3 lines from the 3rd page. If your handwriting is bigger, like that of myself, you will write the complete page and it must not exceed half of the 3rd page. That is why I tell you it is complete practical. We are going to monitor you because your success is our joy. And if you didn't get the physical sheet, how will I be able to monitor you if you don't even write reports? So please, we are not joking. That's why I started with be ready to be disciplined. Joke is not here. Play is not here. Your introduction should cover your page 4 and 5, also 2 pages. Then your requirement 1, irrespective, you are writing in accordance with this thing. After that, after page 5, starting from your page 6, you can leave up to what? 12. As you can leave like 6 pages. So from your page 13, you can then have your appendix. First of all, appendix 1. The appendix 1, we have your trend, comprises of your trend, your common side, and your what? Ratio analysis. When we get to examining the appendixes, I will tell us how to maximize our time. And I will tell us how your plan will start on that. I will show us everything. Don't be scared. Okay. Having said that, having written your requirement 1, which is your appendixes, the next thing you will do, you now go back to that your what? Executive summary first. That's your requirement. I mean, you now go back to writing your report. Write up to your skill 1 to skill 5, skill box 8. After that, you go back and fill in your what? Executive summary. After filling your executive summary up to recommendation, you don't have to do appendix 2 before you fill in your executive summary for the 2nd one. Is that taken? After that, you are concluding your report. So that is how to actually plan your work when you are preparing yourself for the case study exam. Likewise, your working place experience will also help you by preparing for your case study. Don't say where I'm working is not useful. In fact, it is necessary and it will aid your report. All the experiences you are gaining there, those people that are all this camp are not having experiences are those bank tellers. But mind you, that their experience is also something. We need them because you are working with managers, you are working with partners, you are working with bosses. So you need all those things. You don't have to be reading your journal when it comes to case study. Your only reading textbook should be this case study manual that we presented for you, your math case study manual, plus ICAN study pack. If you want to join any textbook, plus ICAN case study pack. But mind you, I've already summarized everything here for you. Are we together? That is all what we need to know when it comes to case study. Thank you. If we don't have any question, we would like to continue from here in our next section, where we'll be examining our lecture 2, our lesson 2, which is identifying the types of reports, and likewise breaking down the case study requirement. But before we go, you are taking on this assignment from November 2014 to date. Examine the types of reports that is given in each diet case. Likewise, examine the requirements in each of the diet case. I wish you good. I hope that we have been able to gain one or two insights from today's lecture. I wish you good knowledge, sound understanding, retentive memory, and best of luck in your exam.